try to say something else about it. Oh, let me add you to the stage. Okay, I hear you. There you go.
Shalom, Lord of Christ.
Right. We'll give it a few more seconds. Let some people come. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Colonel McCunn, sir.
Can you hear me?
Colonel McCunn.
All right, no sweat. All right. All right, clap it up. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started in Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under command of Junior Honor. School been established since 1969, teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are according to the Bible. Today is the feast, the opening of the Feast of Purim, which is a memorial. It's not a high holy day, but it is a memorial that we should keep throughout our generations. For those of you who celebrated Valentine's Day and New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and your birthdays, what you got to come to realize is that the Most High God has power over the entire earth. And his laws, his statutes, his high holy days, his memorial days, his anniversaries are more important than the things of this world. A lot of you go to the Christian church and you never find out about what the Most High loves and what he doesn't love. You never find out about his high holy days. You never find out about the actual days that you're supposed to celebrate and keep throughout your generation. The Christian pastor has taught you to attach yourself to America's ways. Has taught you to attach yourself to lies. Valentine's Day, what you all just celebrated, is nowhere in the Bible. The beginning of the year, according to the Bible, you understand, the book of Leviticus is after the Passover. You understand? The beginning of new things. When you celebrate the beginning of new things in the dead of winter. All these things have been taught to you, and these things are lies. And now it's time to break from the lies and come into truth. Because the Bible says, you understand, it says, the truth shall set you free. Okay? So the Feast of Purim starts out with the book of Esther, right? A lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women want to be renowned, want to be known in the earth. You understand? They want to have some good reputation. Well, Esther, the sister Esther, our star in the Hebrew, she, you understand, is a good example of what sisters should follow. She is a good example of what it takes, you understand, to continue to build this nation and to serve God. She is a great example for any so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American woman. If you want to be remembered, you understand, throughout your generations, then you should be like the sister Esther. You understand, in the Holy Bible. You should be like her, okay? Let's start off with the book of Esther, and let's start at chapter 1, verse 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the history of, you understand, when we was in oppression, when we was in captivity, and explain in detail about a significant sister who risked her life and followed behind, you understand, her uncle, followed behind a man of the Lord. And through her righteousness of following this man, her people was not destroyed. And just take this in mind too. If sisters with all the power that they have in America, and I don't know if you blacks, Hispanics, and Native American sisters understand, you got power in America. You got a position that you can play to bring this nation to the forefront. You got a position that you can play, you understand, to where so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American men, you understand, won't be, you know, a nigga, slacking, you know, a ninja for TikTok. Won't be, you know, somebody who they just disregard and don't give a damn about and throw behind a county jail. or get ran over, you understand, on a major highway like the brother Dexter Wade. You can be like, you understand, like Bernstein Wade, who actually fought the system and went against the oppressor and realized that the thing that the person, you understand, that she birthed in this world, which is another so-called black man who was an Israelite according to the Bible, that his life meant something and his death meant something as well. Okay, so we're going to get a good example. We're going to get history about the day of Purim. Go ahead.
Hey, Salaki, sir, if I may, you got some reverb when you speak. You got like a little reverb when you talk.
That's because we on here. It's got a lag between me and you. And pull it up on your phone real quick and see on Facebook. Yeah.
You want me to sign out and come back in?
Nah, you good. I think it's just between me and you. Yeah, I think it's just between me and you. Oh, one second. Let's see if that makes a difference. No lag?
Yeah, like a little line though.
I don't know what that is. This is behind. Might be the microphone. How about now? I know Zabak making a lot of noise over there. Okay, we're gonna roll with it anyway, all right? You hear me, Zabak?
Yeah, come.
All right, give me give me the book of Esther.
Okay, this is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Yeah, the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1.
All right, come. This book of Esther, chapter 1 and 1, and it reads, "Now it came to pass in the days of Archelaus, this is Archelaus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 120 provinces." Verse 2, that in those days
which
when
is
the king,
100, so like 127 provinces, meaning this kingdom that Assyrians had, you understand, was bigger than America. It was a major, he conquered a lot of different countries. He had 127 kingdoms that he had. Okay? This wasn't just no regular old Joe king, all right? And for some of you to try to get a picture of what this person looked like or something similar to him. Have anybody seen the movie 300? Seen the movie 300? You seen the movie 300 before? With the Spartans? You've seen that before? Okay, so that king Xerxes that you seen with the earring in his nose, and he walked down on those guys' back off his platform they was carrying. That's King Xerxes. That's who he's talking about right now. All right, the king of Persia and Medes. Okay, go ahead, Zabak.
verse 2, in those days when the king Xerxes sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace. Verse 3, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his provinces and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him. Okay, verse 4. Verse 4. When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. Verse 5. And when these days
so 180 days Okay, it says even 104 days, which equal out to 180 days. All right, so he celebrated and feasted for 180 days to show his power, like what he gained. You understand the conquering that he did. He showed them he had a feast for 180 days for everybody in his kingdom. All right, read verse 5.
Okay, verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace, both unto great and small, even even 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace. Okay, verse
Stop
6.
right there. Stop right there. So it didn't matter if they had, whatever position of power. He made it known that everybody, you understand, could keep this feast. This was throughout 127 provinces, kingdoms that he ruled. The decree went out that we're gonna feast for 180 days. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6. Well, were white,
Drop down
green.
to verse 10.
Verse
Drop
10.
down. Matter of fact, drop down to verse 8. Okay.
Come. This is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it reads, and the drinking was according to the law. None did compel. For so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Verse 9.
Go ahead.
Also, Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Osiris. Verse 10. On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Salakia, Muhusman, and Bista, and Harabona, Victor, and Abagata, and Zethra, Zethar, and Kakas, the seven chamberlains that served in the presence of Osiris, the king. Okay, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. Okay, verse 12.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
So,
So the king ordered his chamberlains, right? The seven men that enforced the laws within the kingdom, the seven chamberlains. These guys, you understand, they enforced the law, they enforced the taxes, they enforced whatever the king said that needed to be done. These men went out and made sure that this thing happened. So King Ashur, you understand, commanded them to go bring his wife Vesta to this event. Told them that, hey, bring her here so everybody can see how beautiful she is. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's why the Lord say, beauty is vain. You understand? Vain meaning profit. A lot of brothers get women because of beauty, and they miss the overall point behind having a woman. You understand? The most significant thing you can have in a woman is obedience. Because one day her looks, her beauty may go away. And her obedience is needed. Her gift, you understand, to follow behind whatever command is given is the most important thing. Because that saves her life, it saves the children's life, and advances your life as well. That's one significant thing that's over beauty. Another significant thing that a woman has, a lot of brothers don't pick a woman about, is intelligence. You know, a woman going to go be a go-getter. You understand? That don't just look at herself and be selfish. She puts her family first. Esther the queen did not have these attributes. And even reading the scriptures now, you find out that the king never picked her because of her obedience. He never picked her because it would advance him as being a better king, and he could go and advise to her and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" He couldn't ask Esther that because she the only quality she had was being pretty. So her beauty became vain. Her beauty became something that was whatever. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Okay. Go ahead.
Colonel McCon, verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Verse 13. Then
Stop
the
right
king
there.
said,
Stop right there.
Colonel McCon.
Now, this is the king. You gotta remember, right? Paint a picture. This is the king of 127 provinces. This king is not just no basic king. He's a ruler. He's ruling over multiple countries. You see what I'm saying? He's ruling over multiple countries. He got plenty of men that done died, that done been alive for him. You understand? Plenty of men that done went to war for him. That left their family only based on his command. And here it is, his wife that he lays down in bed with, that he goes to sleep with, that he protects, that he gives everything to, that has all the position of power. Her authority, best authority, was almost as close to the king's authority. If Esther was to say off with his head, then the king sure would have done it. This woman refused a commandment by the king. Now, what y'all think? What y'all think the other people would look at if they found out that he gave a commandment through the chamberlains go enforce the laws in the community? Nobody telling them no. If somebody tell them no, they going on a guillotine. They getting off with their head. They getting hung. They getting punished. Here it is, the queen. She said no to the chamberlains who done put people, who done unalive people by the king's command. So how do y'all think it looks, you understand, to the people that's small and above? What's y'all view on it? By the queen? Anybody can answer. It shows weakness. You know what I'm saying? And a man being in a position of power is the opposite of weakness. A man that being in a position of power, you can allow weakness to be in front of you. You can allow it to fester. Because when you allow it to fester, it grows like a cancer. That's what weakness is. Weakness is something that if untamed and unwashed and untreated, would spread throughout the entire body. Y'all remember that. That's the same thing that goes for the nation of Israel. When we allow weakness, when our weakness is attaching ourselves to the other nations, attaching ourselves to the pink man, Donald Trump, the man that looks like Donald Trump, his nation, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. When we attach ourselves to them, we become weak. Because we shave our beards, we cut off our hair, we dress ourselves like them. We follow behind their religion, we follow behind their doctrine, their education, their financial system. A lot of so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men don't understand why they can't get a financial foot in America. Is because you've been pushed back. You ain't been allowed to be equal with this man that you've been trying to chase to be like. And then that terms makes our household weak. Takes the fathers out the household. You know what I'm saying? It takes the mothers out the household. And it takes the children out the household. And they get reared and they get brought up by our oppressor. They get brought up by this society. Because there's no strong men in the household no more because these men follow behind our oppressor. That was a solid answer. Well, what about you? From a sister perspective, a woman not this woman, not with her power that she had, she did have power because she was married to the king. What's your view or thoughts on how it looks towards all the other women? She have authority over him. But what they say, being weak under your woman, right? You know what I'm saying? Allow her to make the decisions, allow her to control the environment. Don't get me wrong, a woman can make decisions. That's inevitable. That's automatic because of children, because of education, because of the workforce. It's decisions that have to be made. But when it's a commandment given for a woman according to God, God said it is the Most High, Christ, man, woman, and child. That's the order of everything how it's supposed to be done. And if a household, but then the entire nation. You understand? Go ahead, where you at?
Come. Verse 13, Book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 13, and it reads, Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the time, for so was the king's manner towards all that knew law and judgment. Verse 14, and the next unto him was Karshina, Shitar, and Amatha, and Tarnish,
Mm-hmm.
and Mirius,
Uh-huh.
and Markatha, and Memucan, the seven princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which the first in the kingdom, set the first in the kingdom. Verse
Stop
15.
right there. Stop right there. So these men, these men fell up under the leadership of King Xerxes, right? And they looked up to him. And if he would have been unalive or passed away, one of these men would have took that ranks, would have took that position. So a lot of times, just like a child, a young man who get raised up, even if his father's not exactly where he's at, he looks at his father as an example of how to be a man. Same thing with these men. They look at it as Xerxes on how to be a king, how the kingdom should be ran, as you say in the palace. And they seeing this. Now, the chamberlain seen it, the seven princes of Persia and Medes seen it, the men that were set up over the 127 provinces, they seen this. Other men in rulership, what you think gonna happen? They see, oh, damn, we follow his order, but his woman ruling him. His woman telling him what to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she might be pretty, but she running the show. So all this time you've been telling me to go out to war and leave my family, it ain't because you decided to do it was the right thing. It's because your woman was upset. Because your woman told you to do it. That's the mindset that creeps inside these men's mind. You know what I'm saying? And also think about this. They like every man is looking for another way to get power. And he's looking for a sign of weakness. It's just embedded in men to be competitive, to be good, to be great. Every man wants to be victorious in earth. You see what I'm saying? So they look at him like, damn, okay, I see where his weakness is at. I see what I can do. I could take his rulership. I could be king. I could be a better king than him. That's the mindset they got. Go ahead, Zabak.
Come, verse 15, and it reads, What shall we do unto the queen Vashti, according according to law, because she
Fix,
have not
fix.
performed,
Mm-hmm.
because she had not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. Okay, verse 16.
Go ahead.
And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, But Shanti the queen has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the Salaka, that are in all the provinces of the king Osiris. Okay, verse
Stop right
17.
there. Stop right there. This lady, this woman, see, I'm gonna tell you how our person think. Even these heathens knew that if this thing was corrected, that it would break their nation up. Even the heathens know a certain form, a certain form of law and order. Even they know that if any sign of weakness is about or shown, that it's an opportunity that could destroy our nation. They knew this. These men knew. They said, "Well, what should we do?" Well, she didn't follow the commandment of the king. She didn't do what he said to do. This could cripple our nation. What she did just didn't affect you, king. It affected everybody by her actions. Every now, people, even when we go to war, the people at war don't say, "Oh, well, the king of Xerxes, he get ran by his woman." The fear that is needed upon other men will be taken away because if it will be taken away if they would allow Vesti, the queen, to get get away with this. That's what they was telling the king. Like, shit, not only that, but our women will start going against us. You understand? Go ahead. We're gonna get it.
Okay, verse 17. This book of Esther, chapter 1 and 17, it reads, "For his deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husband in their eyes, when it shall be reported. The king of Syria commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not." Okay,
Right.
verse
So
18.
put that right there. So they're gonna be like, the other women gonna be like, well, man, she ain't got to do what the king say do. Who is you? You just a nobleman. You just a farmer. What's the word you always use? Start with a P. Huh? You just a peasant. I ain't gotta listen to you. You a peasant. You ain't no king. The queen ain't listen to her king. Why I gotta listen to you? Why I gotta do what you say do? All women in America and all over the earth has been taught with DNA, right? It's embedded in their DNA now. And we can go all the way back to Eve. Has been taught to not listen to the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. They have been taught that you are the dumbest man on earth. They have been taught that you are the weakest man on earth. The reason I say this is because if we go back and look at slavery, and we look at some of the things that happened to the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, if you was shown any kind of strength in front of our oppressor, they would take the strongest man out in the courtyard. It's called breaking the buck. They would take him out in the middle of the courtyard, gather every slave, women and children, and they would have the oppressor rape this man in front of everybody in the courtyard. Now, a woman seeing her man get brutalized, get sexually assaulted, that does something to her psychologically to the point where she's like, well, he can't even save himself. How can he save me? The children looking like, my father is crying. He's beaten. He's destroyed. They don't look at him as the leader anymore. They look at him as a victim. The Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman has been taught that the so-called Black man is a victim. That's why a lot of brothers play the victim. That's why a lot of brothers, are emotional in the way. You always see like, damn, what's she strong woman? Why she with this weak brother? She with him because in her mind it's been bedded in her mind psychologically, all the way back to slavery, passed down through genes, through DNA, through the environment that she's grown in, that this man needs to be taken care of, not this man needs to be taken care of. This man needs somebody to love him, not I need somebody to love me and protect me. This man, I need to protect him. I need to shield him. Because that's a natural thing for a woman to do, is to want to take care of somebody. That's their natural state, is to want to take care of somebody, not to be the protector, not to be the provider, but to be the protector, to be someone who has the emotional shoulder to lean on, is the one who's able to encourage somebody when they've fallen short. But the women have been, drained here in America and all over the earth. And those instances of what happened to us during slavery and during every captivity we've ever been in has been embedded in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman mind. And now she thinks that you are the most dumbest man on earth. Not every sister, of course. The sisters coming to the truth and learn about the Lord and learn who they are. They realize that Black men need to be not pressured, but what's the word I'm looking for? They need to be treasured. Black men need to be treasured, especially young Black men. They need to be treasured in this earth. Because if you give up the Black man, or Hispanic or Native American man, there the smallest thing that's out of order to correct the nation and make sure it's right. Go ahead, Sabah, where you at?
Okay, come, sir. I'm at verse 18, the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 18, and it reads, Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes which have heard of the deeds of the queen. Thus shall there arise no Salaki. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. Okay, verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persian and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. Okay, go to verse 20.
Yeah,
Verse 20. And when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husband honor, both to the great and small. Okay, verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. Okay, verse 22. For for he sent letters into all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. Okay, chapter 2 and verse 1. Keep reading, sir.
Okay, so stop right there, right? Yeah, kind. Where you in verse 22?
No, I'm at
Yeah,
I read verse 22.
Read verse. Okay, read that one more time for me about the letter that was sent down.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and 22, and it reads, For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Okay. I'm listening.
Verse 2. Chapter
Chapter,
we go to chapter
2.
2 and
That's
1.
right. Chapter 2, verse 2.
Verse 2. This book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 2. Then the king's servants that minister unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. Verse 3. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all their fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hegi, the king's chamberlain, keepers of the women, and let their kings for purification be given them. Okay, verse 4. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king, so like it said, verse 4 said, and let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Okay, verse 5. Now Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jari, the son of Shemiah, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. Okay, verse 6. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jezoniah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, carried away. Verse 7. and he brought up
Stop
Hadda.
right there. Okay, hold on 1 second, Zabak. Very funny. We ain't gonna do that now. So like, Zabak, hold on 1 second. Fix this over here.
Yeah, got like a skip in it.
So verse 6, right? Let's go to Malachi knew something earlier before this, right? Let's go to the editions of Esther, chapter 11, and read verse 2 for me.
Okay, come. You said go to verse 11 and verse 2. Okay, this is the book of Esther, chapter 11 and verse 2. In the second year
The
of
editions of Esther.
okay, Salaki. This is the book of the rest of the
Editions
chapter
of Esther.
of the edition of Esther, chapter 11 and verse 2. In the Apocrypha. In the second year of the reign of Xerxes the Great, in the first day of the month, Nisan, Mordecai, the son of Jairus, the son of Shemi, the son of Kasi, the, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream. Verse 3, who was a Jew and dwelt in the city of Susa, a great man, being a servitor in the king's court. Verse 4, he was also one of the captives which Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, carried from Jerusalem with Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, and this was his dream. Verse 5, behold, a noise of a tumult.
Oh, Salaki,
With
go back to verse 2.
So what?
Go back to verse 2, Salaki.
Well, this book of the edition of Esther and the Apocrypha, chapter 11 and verse 2. In the second year of the reign of Xerxes, the great, in the first day of the month, Nisan, Mordecai, the son of Jairus, the son of Shemi, the son of Sikasi, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream.
Okay, so this is the dream of Mordecai. You understand? Drop down to verse 5.
Okay, verse 5. Behold, a noise of a tumult with thundering and earthquakes and uproar in the land. Verse 6. And behold, two great dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great.
Okay.
Verse 7. And at their cry, all nations were prepared to battle, that they might fight against the righteous people. Verse 8. And lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction, and great uproar upon the earth. Verse 9. And the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing their own evils, and were ready to perish. Okay, verse 10. Then they cried unto God, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water, even much water. Verse 11. The light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted, and devoured the glorious. Okay, verse 12. Now when Mordecai, who had seen this dream and what God had determined to do, was awake, he bare his dream in mind, and until night.
Let me ask y'all something. What was Mordecai's dream? Anybody know? What was his dream? The vision he had and the two dragons and this and that. What was his dream? You know,
What was it? Was it the Medes and the Persians?
Let's go to the editions of Esther, chapter 10. Start at verse 4.
Okay, this is the book of the edition of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 10, and verse 4. Then Mordecai said, God have done these things. Verse 5. For I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof hath failed. Verse 6. A little fountain became a river, and there was light in the sun, and much water. This river is Esther, whom the king married and made queen.
Right.
Verse 7. And the two dragons are I and Ammon. Verse 8. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the names of the Jews. Verse 9. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to God and was saved. For the land hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils, and God hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. Therefore, verse 10, therefore have he made two lots, one for the people of God and another for all the Gentiles. Okay, verse 11. And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before God among all nations. Verse 12.
Stop right there. So what is Esther? Stop right there. What is Esther then? If Esther is the river, right?
The river.
What is she to the people of Israel?
A light.
Right. She's the opportunity for life.
Yeah,
You
light.
understand? Her life and the battle that they had in the king's rulership, the importance of her is that what she did was going to keep the nation from being destroyed, keep the Jews
Right.
from being destroyed. If everybody, read verse 12 real quick.
Okay, verse 12. So God remembered his people and justified his inheritance. Verse 13. Therefore those days shall be unto them in the month Adar, the 14th and 15th day of the same month, which an assembly and joy and with gladness before God, according to the generations forever among his peoples.
That's verse 12.
That's 12. I read 12 to 13.
Now, let me ask y'all a question, right? So this for the class and for the online. Anybody can answer this, right? I really prefer to have multiple answers. Has Israel, the Lord's people, according to what Mordecai is talking about, has Israel ever ruled the earth? You know, has Israel ever ruled the earth? Has they ever had the kingdom and ruled the earth? All of it. The Lord, according to the Lord's promise, you understand, to him, to the prophets before us, and the prophets before Mordecai, our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that we were going to receive the kingdom of heaven, that we were going to rule the entire earth. If Israel has never ruled the entire earth, and the Most High God is saying that Israel is going to have the rulership over the earth, which is the kingdom of heaven, then I pose a question to Christians. Because Christians say everybody can be in the kingdom of heaven. When Christians talk about, so-called Christians, right? When they talk about the kingdom of heaven, they talk about rulership according to God and according to the Bible. They are saying that every nation, even the Gentiles, which is the other nations, they are saying that they are going to get the kingdom of heaven. That they are going to, you ever heard them say, oh, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing there'll be. Who is the we all? If God is only saying throughout the entire Bible that Israel shall receive the inheritance of him, his glory, that Israel shall receive the kingdom of heaven. Christ said that the kingdom of Israel shall be restored. In the book of Revelation, the 12 gates of the kingdom of heaven is going to have the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel written thereof. Christ said he only came for his people, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Every priest and prophet throughout the Bible is talking about, when they're talking about the kingdom of heaven, they're talking about Israel ruling the kingdom of heaven. So what is the Christian? If Christians are right, and what I'm saying according to the Bible is wrong, then what does that make God? If everybody gets into the kingdom of heaven, what would that make God? It make it a liar. And God is not a liar, am I correct? According to the Bible, God can't be a liar. So if God can't be a liar, then that makes who a liar? Who would that make a liar? If God can be a liar, who would that make a liar?
Me.
It's okay to say it. Who do you think? The Christians. Because they're teaching, the Christian pastor is teaching and singing songs and writing in books that everybody's going to get the kingdom of heaven when that's a lie. It's not in the Bible. What is in the Bible is the other nations are going to be servants, slaves, bondmen and bondwomen, and even the nation of people, the Edomites, are going to cease to exist after a period of time. They're going to be like, hey, Zabot, they're going to be like the caveman that you see at the museum.
Right.
They're going to have a display. They're going to have a display of your normal Mr. Rogers. Is going to be a wax statue right beside who's the caveman name on the Geico
Caveman.
Nobody know his name. It's a
They call it caveman.
They show on the they show on the caveman, right? They're gonna have the normal caveman with all the hair and stuff on the back. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna have Mr. Rogers. They're gonna have Donald Trump. They're gonna have Joe Biden. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. They're gonna have these people in displays, and our great grandchildren are gonna look and be like, "Dad, what is that?" And be like, "Oh, that was one of those beasts one of the beasts of the field during the time in our captivity. That was an animal that ran rapid." See, what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans gotta realize is that we are the only living souls on the earth. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the only living souls on earth. Every other nation outside of us are beasts, are animals, just like in the book of Genesis. They weren't made and formed and into their nostrils, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. No other nation of people got that. So therefore, they are animals, and you can see they smell like animals. They eat like animals. They walk like animals. They treat us and each other like animals. Look at our society. Look at what just happened down here in Jackson. How 671 bodies go missing? Nobody loved ones is in contact. The only reason they found out because a young woman who was looking for her son went and searched out and found that her son was buried in the same place. And even to this day, right now, it's going to be buried and nobody's going to talk about it. I guarantee you, the Israelite School or Universal Practice Knowledge is the only one that talks about Dexter Wade. It's the only one that talks about Mario Moore. It's the only one that talks about George Robertson, the Bernstein Wade, and the 671 bodies that they are still counting. We're the only ones talking about it. I'm going to tell you something. You don't have to go find the devil. You don't have to go searching and looking for the devil. You go to these schools. You go to these education systems. You go to these jobs. You drive these vehicles. You eat this food. You don't have to go and find the damn devil because the devil is always in your face. He's always sneaking up and asking you questions of what's going on. He's always devising a plan to make sure that you're at the bottom and he at the top. Because once you get at the bottom, according to the Bible, Jacob took on him to Esau's heel. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Jacob came behind Esau. We've been battling these animals, you understand, in the womb we battled Esau. We battled, you understand, and being competitive, and we want to be victorious against them. In the womb of our mother. You understand? This wasn't something that just happened overnight. This is a design plan for you to be at the bottom. And the people they want the most at the bottom is Israelites. Because once a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man finds out that he gonna rule the kingdom of heaven, and he gonna stop giving his money to these holidays. See, today should be a national shutdown day. It's a Memorial Day, right? They got Memorial Day in America. This is biblical. What I'm reading is the Feast of Purim out of the Bible, the Holy Bible, which is God. Why isn't this a Memorial Day? Why isn't the nation and the children don't go to school? The children should have not went to school today. Am I right? If we all talking about God, if they say if we all get to heaven one day, you ain't gonna get to heaven if you don't know how to get there. If you don't know who the God of that heaven is, and the people that the God of that people is. If you mistreat the people of God, how do you think you're going to get opportunity to go to the kingdom of heaven? That makes sense? If God say, this is my children, then you beat them down, hang them on trees, burn them, lynch them, tar and feather them, sexually assault them in front of their family, degrade them, shorten their education system, put all their children, male and female, in the penitentiary program, prison pipeline from school to prison. And then while they're in prison, you destroy them even more. You think God not going to... I got a question for Christians that will get back on topic. You think God is going to allow a man who murdered and destroyed and unalived a group of people, a nation of people, you think he allowed in the kingdom of heaven? So you think the just God that we got, the merciful God we got, is going to allow the rapist to be with the victim? Is going to allow the murderer to be with the unalive? Is going to allow the child rapist to be with the predator? You think you're going to allow that in the kingdom of heaven? You got a serious soul searching to do. If you're a Christian and you've been believing these lies that America has taught you, if you're not keeping or at least acknowledging the Feast of Purim, at least acknowledging the Feast of Dedication, the Passover, if you're not acknowledging that, you celebrate your birthdays, you celebrate all these holidays, then it's evident that you don't love God. Because you will do the things that God wants you to do. Go ahead, Zabak. Where you at?
Come. We're the book of Esther, the edition of Esther and the Apocrypha, chapter 11 and verse 1. Okay, and it reads.
You can drop there. Let's go to Esther, the book of Esther, chapter 3. Let's go to the book of Esther, chapter 3.
Okay, 3 and 1.
Starting at verse 2. Yep.
All right, come. This is the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 2, and it reads, and all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Verse 3. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressed thou the king's commandment? Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai matters would stand.
So like, my bad. So like, go back to verse 2. We missed the most significant thing in there. Read verse 2 again.
Okay, come. This is the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 2. And then all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverend Haman, for the king had no commandment concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Stop right there. Why did Mordecai bow? Why did Mordecai bow to Haman? Huh? What was his reason for not bowing? Why didn't he bow down like everybody else? Why didn't he show reference to who the king appointed? King Xerxes appointed.
Because he didn't respect that he.
What you think? You didn't respect it? What you think? Huh? You said what? Read again. It's about verse 2 again.
It's the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Right. So the king commanded everybody to bow to Haman. Haman was put in leadership, put in charge. And Malachi didn't bow. No, not only did he not bow, it's just like a king coming in here and like, all right, whatever. He ain't nobody. That's what Mordecai did, right? Like, all right, whatever. Everybody bowing. I'll give you a good example. What's his name? King Kaepernick? King Kaepernick didn't he took a knee during the national anthem. You know that, right? And he lost his career. Who he played for the 49ers? He lost his career in the 49ers. Because he took a knee. And he didn't want to, in America, our president don't want you to have freedom of speech or active rights. They don't want you to. You better stand and put your hand over your chest and say the Pledge of Allegiance. You better stand for the national anthem. In America, there's no freedom in that. What Kaepernick? What's his name? Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick. Yeah, that's a tongue twister right there. This brother, the same thing that he did is the same thing that Mordecai did. He was like, all right, whatever. Why would you stand for the national anthem when it has nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Why is people putting their hand over their chest and pledging allegiance to the flag instead of pledging allegiance to the Most High God? Why take the prayer after school and still leave the flag? They say the pledge of allegiance in school, right? Why? Why are you pledging your allegiance to a nation of people or a country that unalives you every day? Statistics in Jackson, Mississippi. 97.3% young black males in the juvenile detention center, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and neighborhood, 97.3% is incarcerated in the juvenile detention center down there between the ages of 16 and 5. 5 to 16. The youth in Jackson, Mississippi is shooting up. We watch the news every night. Every night we watch the news. Breaking news. Homicide. 3 unalive. 4 wounded. Carjacking. Drive-bys down here. Why are we pledging allegiance to a nation of people that has done nothing for us? Nothing. Any gain, any personal gain that any black, Hispanic, or Native American did or got in America, you didn't get it because America loved you. You got it because you sold your soul. You sold a piece of yourself away. You sacrificed something. I'm not talking about the honest worker who believes in God because they give tribute to the Most High God for everything they have. But it's blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people. Steve Harvey is a great example. Kevin Hart is a great example. Steve Harvey said in one view, he said, whatever the so-called, whatever our president wants to do, if he want me to act like a monkey, I act like a monkey. And what he do, he act like a monkey. He'll sell his soul for himself, his personal gain. But he won't sell his soul. He won't be like us. He won't sell his soul for the people, man. Don't pledge your allegiance to a thing that will not get you into the kingdom of heaven. You should, if you're gonna pledge your allegiance, you should pledge your allegiance to your people, to your nation. At one point in time, we had Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma had hospitals. It had movie theaters. It had a carpool system. It had lawyers. It had doctors. It had banks, their own banking system. It had security. You know what our oppressor did? Our oppressor dropped a bomb on Tulsa, Oklahoma. In foreign land, he dropped a bomb, bro. What was it, the 1950s, 1955? Tulsa, Oklahoma?
1921, sir, I think. I think it was 1921, sir.
You understand? They dropped bombs in 1921. They dropped bombs on their own country, man. So you tell me if you should pledge allegiance to them or you should pledge allegiance to your people. Better yet, pledge allegiance to God. Okay. Let's get the reason why. What did you have? You said because he didn't respect them. You said, what'd you say? Huh? Same thing for you too? Right? Okay, let's get the book of Esther. Let's get the editions of Esther. And let's go to chapter 13. Chapter 13 and verse 12.
Oh.
Let's see why Mordecai didn't bow, man. Let's see if y'all can catch the reason why. See, some of us do things because we look at our oppressor as being God because his image is all over the earth as being God. You know what I'm saying? We think he's the most high. Because when you open the Bible, some of these Bibles, the picture that's in the Bible is not the true image of God. It's the image of our oppressor, the devil, you understand, of the Bible. The man that looked like Donald Trump, his nation of people was in that picture. The angels are painted as him. So I never forget, I'm going to say this, but I never forget. We used to go down to Louisiana on Canal Street and teach every Saturday. And when we would go down there, we had Caesar Borgia, which is, everybody thinks it's Christ. Caesar Borgia was painted by Alexander. Caesar Borgia was painted. Alexander the Pope's son was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. This man, okay, is blasted over the entire earth as being God. So naturally, when somebody sees the picture of Christ, first of all, Christian church sees that Christ is God. So people think that that's the Most High. That's a whole other story in itself. But we take this image and we set this image on the ground in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the sidewalk on Canal Street. I don't know if anybody been down on Canal Street in Louisiana. I know a lot of people probably been down there for Mardi Gras, but you Louisiana goes down there and has count. And I'll never forget it. Like we put this sign in the middle of the walkway, and I lost count on my hands on how many times so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men and women and children, and even babies in the damn stroller would point and say, "Why y'all got God on the ground?" They would jump. We would say, "Step on it." They say, "No, man, I don't want to step on this God." That's how much that image has been embedded in our mind. A young black male that grows up doesn't look to the black or Hispanic or Native American man as the role model, the father figure, or the man with power. He looks at our oppressor because the image has been put in his mind. That this man, you gotta respect this man. This man, when he say bow, you better bow. And that's naturally what a lot of people just stand up for the natural and don't even know the words. They just stand up for the pledge of allegiance. They don't even know the word. They just stand up because they've been told to stand up because it's in their mind. Let's read why Mordecai didn't bow, man.
You said 13 and verse 2.
Chapter 13, verse 2.
All right, come. This is the book of the edition of Esther and the Apocrypha, chapter 13 and verse 2. After that, I became Lord over many nations, and had dominions over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purpose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable, and open for passage to the uttermost coast, to renew peace, which is desired of all men. Verse 3. Now when I asked my counselors how,
That's right.
yes, sir.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Chapter 13, verse, hold on, let me pull it up. Drop down to verse 12, so like.
Okay, this is verse 12, and it reads. This is the book of edition of Esther and the Apocrypha, chapter 13 and verse 12. And thou knowest all things, and thou knowest, Lord, that it was neither in contempt nor pride, nor for any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Amen. Verse 13.
Stop right there. What is he saying? Stop right there, Sabah. What is he saying? Anybody know? What is he saying? This is the reason why Mordecai didn't bow to Haman. Read it again.
Okay, this is the verse of the edition of Esther, chapter 13 and verse 12 in the Apocrypha. Thou knowest all things, and thou knowest, Lord, that it was neither in contempt nor pride, nor for any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Amen.
So why did he bow down to Haman? He said it wasn't for his pride. Read verse 13 as well.
In verse 13, for I could have been content with good will for the salvation of Israel, to kiss the soles of his feet.
He would have, if it meant the salvation of Israel, he said he would have been content. He would have done it. I would have kissed his feet. The verse above it say what? Read the verse above it, verse 12.
Verse 12, thou knowest all things, that thou knowest, Lord, that it was neither in contempt nor pride, for of any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Amen.
What you got? And when he didn't, wasn't getting no glory from it. It wasn't because he was proud.
Lord.
the nation of Israel, he would have done it.
Right.
Huh? You say he feared the Lord?
Nah.
Is that what you say it's about?
Yeah, I said because he feared the Lord.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Okay, well, okay. So he said, Lord, it ain't because for any glory for me. There wasn't no contentment for me to get no glory from it. It's because Haman's pride. What I just said, he didn't bow down because he knew that devil wanted him to bow down. He refused to bow down. Just like Colin Kaepernick took a knee. He took a knee because America wants him to stand for something he don't stand for.
Right.
You understand? Mordecai didn't believe in this man. He knew he was a proud devil that took pleasure in what you call it, humiliating Jews. He took pride in that. You understand? Matter of fact, Haman is from what is it, the Allegate or something like that? He's from a nation of people that our king at one point in time, that he's our enemy. He was our enemy at one point in time. His nation of people was destroyed by our people when he was in rulership. So naturally, he wants to what? Destroy us. Malachi is saying, man, I ain't bowed to that devil because he wanted me to. They took a stand. See, the problem is in America, blacks and Hispanics and Americans don't know what to take a stand for. They only know Christianity. They only know Buddhism. They only know Muslim. They only know Seventh-day Adventists and Pentecostal and Baptist and Methodist. They only know the denomination, the religion part of it. They don't know the history. They don't know the importance of the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't know that it's important to know that Christ, Jesus Christ, when we even call Jesus Christ's name is really Yahushua Mashiach. They don't know that this man is only for the nation of Israel. They don't know that the kingdom of heaven is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They don't know that. So they naturally take a stand with Black Lives Matter. Naturally take a stand with the NAACP, or what is it, PP, or whatever it's called. Naturally, they tie themselves to these religions and denominations because they think if I become a Christian, I stand for something. When in reality, when you become a Christian, you are worse than the man and woman that don't have God. Because you do the opposite of what God needs to happen in earth. You teach what Christianity is, and I hate to say it, it's the color white supremacy. It's made by a nation of people like the neo-Nazis and the KKK. It's pushed by eugenics. You understand? What is it? Margaret Sanger, is that her name? Margaret Sanger, you understand, pushed a program of Planned Parenthood, which is eugenics. You understand? Matter of fact, hey, Sabah, let's go back to something real quick. Hold on 1 second. No, sweat. We good. We're in Editions of Esther, right? So the reason Malachi didn't bow to that devil is because he wanted him to. He was a devil. He didn't want to let him get his pride. He was willing, when Malachi didn't bow, basically what he was saying is, I'm prepared to die for what I believe in. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans got to be prepared to die for the Lord, man. When I say die, I mean unalive. When I say unalive, I mean they got to be willing to give up who they became in America and become what God wanted them to become. In the school, we call it shedding yourself of the world. It's the reason why you have to shed yourself of the world. That black that brothers and sisters put on when they come to the school, that's the same as if you had the same as what we did back in the past when we put sackcloth and ashes over our body. It's symbolic for us changing it and saying to the Lord that we're willing to go through this sacrifice. That we give the supplication to the Most High God, and we pleading at the lowest state that we can to become something that He wants to become. That's the purpose of the all black. The purpose of the all black is you know, not to look broad or this and that. It's a symbolic thing to show I am willing to give up this image that America has put on me. These titles of being a hoe, or being a nigga, or a Hispanic, right? Or black, or African American, or whatever the hell that you had been called in the world, you're no longer there. That's why those Hebrew names are so important, because those Hebrew names is a holy tongue, the Lashon Kodash. Your name, whatever you are a vessel for the Most High. You have an opportunity to fulfill what the Most High wants you to be through your name. And the more you continue to share yourself with the world, the more you continue to let go and not be like them, the more you become what God wants you to become. The more you get closer to the kingdom of heaven, man. You understand? Drop dead, just go back to, anybody got any questions about that? Okay. Go to Esther, the book of Esther, chapter 3. Where was you at?
I was at verse
Okay, you said verse 2?
verse 2.
You said verse 2? Okay, yeah. Drop down to verse 3. Read verse 3.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and 3, and it reads, Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Okay, verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai matters would stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew. Okay, verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then then was Haman full of wrath. Okay, verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hand on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Osiris, even the people of
Stop right there.
Mordecai.
Stop right there. So, this cat mad because Mordecai didn't bow to him. So now he want to destroy all the Jews, all the poor men. He want to take all of them out now. And that shows the mindset and the evilness of our person, how he thinks. If you don't do, see, let me tell you something, a lot of people don't want to come into the Israelite school universe of practical knowledge because they think we weird, or we too militant, or we dress like Power Rangers, whatever it is, or we Bible thumpers, or we talk about God too much, whatever it is, right? They don't want to join with us, but they don't know that even if you don't join with us, you're still going to get punished by the oppressor. You're still going to get punished by God. Even if you're not in a place of safety, you're still going to get harmed by our oppressor. And this is proof. Doctors and lawyers who are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, actors, actresses, and rappers and singers who are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, do they not go through turmoil? Has not R. Kelly been locked up? Has not, some more people, what's the dude's name with the jello? Bill Cosby. Has not Bill Cosby been locked up? These are millionaires. These are millionaires. Christian pastors, Eddie Long and T.D. Jakes. Everybody suffers the hand and wrath of our oppressor if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American man. No matter if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, an athlete, an actor, or a singer, you are still joined to the nation of Israel. We tell people, hey man, you're an Israelite. Now they say, what are you? We say, oh, we're Israelites according to the Bible, man. We from the 12, we make up the 12 tribes of the lost tribe of Israel. Jacob, you understand, our forefathers, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what they say? And you say, well, that's cool on the Israelite stuff, man. And you say, well, brother, too. Whether they ever come in here or not, it doesn't change their nationality. It don't change their oppression. It don't change what they're going to go through. They're still going to suffer the same wrath and evilness outside those doors. Outside where there's no salvation. In here there's salvation. Out there is not. If Christ come back, Christ is coming back for the elect. He's coming back for those who follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Who knew that he was a black man. They knew that he had white woolly hair and red eyes. They knew that the kingdom of heaven is for them. That's who Christ coming back for. Christ not coming back because you sit in the Christian church and giving all your money to the Christian pastor who is talking about being swallowed up. Who has nobody in his congregation no more. They won't even bury your great-great-grandmother or your grandmother because she missed a time paying tithes. The same man, the woman stayed 20 miles, it's older women that stay 20, 30 miles down from the church because they've been going to church for years. And nobody goes and picks them up. You say, well, Sister so-and-so, why she keep getting on that bus? She been getting on that bus since she was 13 years old. You telling me all the money the Christian pastor that got he can't buy her a vehicle? He can't provide transportation for her every day? Something's wrong here, man. That proves that is white supremacy. That proves that this system, and this is another thing. This is how you know. Supremacy means to be superior than others. You understand? Just like King Xerxes, he was superior than others. He was a king. He had 127 properties. He was able to celebrate for 180 days. The Christian church and teaches the Bible that the man who God allowed to come back on earth, the Christian church pushes that he's a white man. Y'all ever seen Good Times? And what's the woman name? Damn, when she put up that picture of that white Christ, and the brother tried to put the picture up of the black Christ, and she said, that's not my Jesus. My Jesus is white. It's white supremacy, man. I mean, hey, TikTok, this is for education purposes. This is not a hate speech. This is historical proof. You can find this on any video on YouTube, anything. What I'm saying is the truth. That Christianity teaches the color white supremacy. It teaches that a nation of people, the Caucasian or European people, are superior than everybody else because they painted God and the angels. They race of people. And people are afraid that they're on the most evil place. The Canal Street is one of the most disgusting. It smells like piss. Marijuana, people walking down the street smoking marijuana, but still sits in their mind, they know to respect. And not to disrespect, you understand, the white man. The white Jesus. Dopeheads jump over the sign of Caesar Brochure Zabah. People who ain't got their mind jump over the sign because they know not to disrespect this man. And I'll tell you something, if that ain't crazy, I don't know what is. Something's wrong there. That's Christianity in a nutshell. Christianity is white supremacy. And if it's not, take the pictures down of white Jesus, take them out the stores, take them out the churches, take them out. Get rid of them. Do a public announcement and say we was wrong about the color of Christ, we was wrong about the color of God. Do that and then I'll shut the hell up. Maybe. You understand? All right, go ahead, Sabak. Where you at?
I'm at verse book of Esther chapter 3, starting at verse 7. And in the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Purim, that is the lot before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. Okay, verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. and their laws are diverse from all peoples. Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. Okay, verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it unto
Stop right there.
the king's treasures.
Stop right there. The sound feed is messing up. That's Esau Salakia.
That's the
That's
devil.
him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he does not want this to go out. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Because anytime I have class down, I have no issue with the feed and none of that. So, but today, I got issues with it because, you know, just like TikTok just tried to take down my live, and they said it was age restricted. They said my live was age restricted. How's my live age restricted? I'm reading out the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading straight out the Bible, man. Okay. Where we at?
Verse 11, verse 10.
Yeah, but drop down to verse. Okay. Right. What is? Somebody look up 10,000 talents of silver. Look that up. See what that is. See how much. See how much he paid. He's gonna pay 10,000 talents. TALENTS of silver. See what that equivalent to US dollars now. Tell me what they say. 10,000 talents of silver. What you got?
375 tons of silver.
300 what?
70 billion.
That's billion. That's billion.
$20 for each ounce.
Let me see. They say 375 tons of silver, which equivalent to, today, it'll be $161 million. That's how much it'll be. Right? Our oppressor wants you destroyed that bad to where in that time, it's 10,000 talents of silver. 10,000 talents of silver. You know what you can do with that? That's how much it burned deep down inside him to destroy the Jews. He's the same race of people of today that want to destroy the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man.
Right.
671 bodies were found behind a house, behind a county jail.
Right.
Nobody's talking about it. They stopped talking about it. I know that, right? A man's head was severed in half and his body was dismembered over the entire earth. Nobody's talking about it. A man's body was found on the side of the highway, covered up with a tarp, brutally mangled. Nobody's talking about it. A man just got released. A man just got released from prison, who was convicted, was sentenced, convicted, went to jail, went to prison for a year, and then after the man that he unalived nephew was buried, they released him. Not only did they release him and acquitted him of all charges, but they allowed him to get back on the police force as a detective. Not even as a regular police officer. He went straight back into his role. Zabak. Nobody's talking about it.
Good night.
That's how I know. That's how I
And
know.
if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Or if I may look at back here, I think back about 2 or 3 years ago, they found all that cocaine on the JP Morgan ship out there in California. Over $1 billion worth of drugs, but they can distribute all over the United States for to destroy black people though. So you just look at like
going straight
like
into
he would pay $10 silver in order for to destroy our people back in those days, like what they do in the present day
That's
today.
right. That's what
And
they
then
did in
nobody
the
never
80s. Right. Look, Zabak, how in the hell is it a crack epidemic in the 80s? And you got so-called black, Hispanics, and Native American men ain't even left the hood. They never left the block.
Right.
How coca leaves don't grow in America? You know that, right? Cocaine is not produced in America. Guns are not manufactured in the hood. How is it that Jackson has all these homicides, all these guns, and they got guns with switches on them? 16, 15-year-old boys are riding around in vehicles with assault rifles. I had never seen a gun manufacturer. The Book of Esther.
Yeah, I think you broke up, sir. Can you hear me now?
All right, Zabak, you on there?
Come, you hear me?
Okay, yeah. You know, Esau is a joke, man.
Yeah, now you
Yeah.
clear now, sir.
I don't know what it is. Let's go ahead and finish this out then. All right. For the lights go off in here or something. You know. Uber messed up my order. So where you at? You at Esther chapter 4.
Number 3.
Read 3. 3 and what?
I stopped at 3 and 9. I'm gonna start at 3 and 10. That's the 3 and
Okay, let's
10.
read
So,
that. Matter of fact,
but this book,
jump down to verse 12.
okay, this book of Esther, chapter 3 and 12. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of King Osiris was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. Okay, verse 13. And the letters were sent by post unto all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women. And one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Stop right there. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Yeah. So this cat wrote a creed out in everybody's language. If you're a Jew, he wrote it in Jew. If you a Persian, you wrote it in Persian. He wrote it so everybody, it was clear that they were seeking to destroy the Jews. They were going to unalive every Jew, woman, man, and child. Okay. Okay. The letter went out. Drop that, go to chapter 4 and read verse 1.
Esther 4 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on a sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry. Verse 2.
Stop right there. What do we do? What do we do in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge? What we do?
Pray.
What are we doing? Huh? What is something similar that Mordecai did that we do today? That the priests of the Lord in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge we go out in our sackcloth. You know what I'm saying? In our sackcloth, we go out and we cry out loud to deaf ears. We cry out loud to them. You understand? The thing that we do, what people got to understand, what we do in Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge, it's not something new. It's some of old. It's tradition from way back then. It's what's been working. It's what God had called us to do. He said, cry out loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. You understand? This thing that happened to the Jews, Mordecai had to speak about it. He had to go out there and let everybody know that this was wrong. He rent his clothes. You understand? He rent his clothes, tore his clothes, and put on sackcloth with ashes, then all black, and went out to the midst of the city and cried with a loud voice, man. You understand? Keep reading, verse 2.
Okay, verse 2. And it came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. Verse 3. And in every providence, whitherso the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes.
Everybody put through that on. They weeping and man, like, man, you understand? They wanted everybody to know what was going on. Go ahead, Zabak.
Verse 5. Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlains, whom had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. Verse 6. So Hathach went forth to Mordecai into the street of the city, which were before the king's gate. Okay, verse 7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened to him, and unto the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasurers for the Jews to destroy them. Verse 8. Also he gave him a copy of a written of the decree that was given to Susan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to all
and to
stop
right there. Why he didn't take the clothes, and why did he make sure that letter went to Esther? Anybody know? Remember, we read in the editions of Esther that she was the river. You understand? Remember that we read that the two dragons, one was Haman, and one was Mordecai.
Right.
Read about the fall that was about to become onto Israel.
Right.
And Esther was the river in between. She was the river. He made sure. Remember, I don't know, we didn't get a chance to read it, but Esther is Mordecai's niece. He's an uncle. Her mother and father were for TikTok unalived. Okay, and he raised her as his own daughter. And everything that Mordecai commanded her to do, she did it. And he knew that she was going to stick to what he said. She was going to follow it. You understand? Go ahead.
Okay, verse. I'm gonna read verse 8 back over again. Also, he gave unto him a copy of writing of the decree that was given at Susan to destroy them, to show it to Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplications unto him, and to make requests before him for the people. Verse 9. And Hatach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Okay, verse 10. Again, Esther spake unto Hatach and gave him commandments unto Mordecai. Verse 11. And all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come into the king unto the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except which to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days. Okay, verse 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Okay, verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
Stop right there. This is significant right here.
Right.
He sent the letter back. She sent information back. He sent the letter information back again. Like, hey, Esther, you gotta understand something. Just because you in their kingdom, I got a great example. Who is an Israelite that was in a position of power that could have really done something for the so-called black black community? She was in a position to where she could have done something. No, it's a female. It's another female, black female that was in position of power, high power, just like
Can I say?
Yeah, you say.
Condoleezza Rice.
Nope. You got one? Same. Go ahead. Nope. Michelle Obama was attached to a heathen, just like this sister Esther was. Michelle Obama is an Israelite.
Yeah,
Barack Obama is a Hamite. He's from the nation of Ham. She had an opportunity to be remembered just like Esther did. She could have, Barack Obama cut welfare 33%. Barack Obama approved same-sex marriage, alternative lifestyle. Barack, the reason why your food stamps is so hard to get now, thank Barack Obama. The reason why the force has been turned up a notch, on the education system for black youth, Barack Obama. Taxes, Barack Obama. The African man that was put in power, the Hamite man that was put in power, he had a wife named Michelle Obama, who's an Israelite, she could have been renowned today. She could have been remembered of something that was really good in the black community, man. She could have been remembered about the same thing that Esther doing. But yeah, what she do? She was worried about them little big head African kids she got. The whole TikTok can kick me off of that. You know, they extra. But she did not care about the poor. She went over. Did she go over to Africa too? If I'm not mistaken, she went over to Africa too. And look, this is what people don't know. Barack Obama even said it himself that when he went over there, he said he was going over there to make sure that his people was okay. He was going over there to fight for his people. He didn't say all people, like America say all people. He didn't say that. He said my people. Michelle Obama could have been like Esther, man. You know what I'm saying? She could have been somebody that done something for the black community. Hell, if it even wasn't just saying, you know, black women power, empower the black women,
Right.
whatever. You know, get a system set up for all these single mothers, you know, to where they can get some kind of aid, some, you know, financial aid or whatever it may be to progress in the world. The daycare centers, you know, babysitting centers, whatever. Something could have been done in the black community. And you know she never done that because if you look outside these doors right here in Jackson, Mississippi, and you go into the community of West Jackson, you're going to find single parent mothers who make their sons the man of the house at 5 years old, and then try to figure out when he turned 14 and 15 why he running the streets, because he believe he a man, because you've been telling him he's a man since he was 5. So naturally, any man is going to have an attitude. I'm going to do what I want to do because men do what they want to do. That's why the 14 and 15-year-old young men are doing what they do, is because their mother, their black mother, Hispanic and Native American mother, has made them become the man at 5 and 6 years old, kissing them in the mouth, saying that that's their boyfriend, that's their baby. Huh? These things are being taught to these young men, and that's why they're so sexually active at the age that they are. That's why they made the way they made, because their mother made them their way. Right. Not putting a whole bunch of blame on the sisters, because you know we in this society together, and we've been of course we've been put through this oppression together. But responsibility has to be placed on the people that needs to take responsibility. And black women need to take responsibility as well as black men. But black women need to take the responsibility and realize that these young men that they call them monsters, they are raised in a single parent household, and those single parent households are black, Hispanic, and Native American women who say they don't want a man. Okay, so Michelle Obama could have been special.
I know back in when I remember back in when Trayvon Martin got on a live, and I remember Barack Obama saying he got him and said like, well, I was Trayvon Martin once before though. I was targeted. I'm like, how the hell you were targeted? You living on that Hawaii surfing every damn day. So how would you target?
That's right.
Yeah, like man, come on, man. You a heathen. You didn't give a damn about black people. Right, you know, you didn't give a damn about it. No. Yeah, he was bothered. He knew he wasn't Israel. He knew he wasn't black anyway.
Yeah, he knew that. That's why he was hanging out with them damn Elam. He was hanging out with Elam and him.
Hanging out with the
y'all seen the Barack Obama movie, right? Huh? Moab too. He was hanging out with all of them. For those who don't know, Moab is a so-called Chinese man, and Ammon, you know, Elam is a so-called East Indian man. All right. Let's get, because I be going over time a lot. Let's get where you at? You read 7, right? Did you read verse 7?
No, I stopped at book of Esther 4 and chapter 4 and 13.
Oh, okay. All right, no sweat. So you at 13. Okay, yeah, keep reading that. Let's read the rest of this. All right.
All right. This is the book of Esther chapter 4 and 14. And it reads, for if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Okay, verse 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night nor day. I also and my maid will fast likewise, and so will I go into the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Okay?
Stop right there. What is she saying? What's she saying? She said, if I perish, I perish. You know, she couldn't go into the king without him allowing them to come with the scepter, right?
Right.
She said, if it be so, if I perish, I perish. What's she saying? Yeah, she gonna die. Like if it be that I lose my life, then so be it. She's the queen of Persian Medes. Vashti's the queen is gone. All her royalties and everything was taken away from her and given to Esther. See, what y'all gotta understand, Esther, she was beautiful, but that wasn't her strong attribute. That wasn't the thing that made her so great. What made her great was her discipline, her obedience to Mordecai, her love for the Most High and her nation, to the point where she willing to give her life up. Now, how many of you sisters are willing to do that? If it comes down to it, would you give your life for your nation? You got everything in the world, everything on the earth that you could possibly want. The king of Syria had 120, I keep saying 127 provinces, different kingdoms that he ruled. He's ruler over Persia. He had the biggest, major, strongest army, you understand, in the whole earth. Had men that did whatever he say at the blowing of his breath. And Esther had an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm good in my kingdom. She did. She could have. What she didn't do is she didn't be like Michelle Obama.
Right.
She didn't go. She's not like Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg still married to the heathen? Was she married to a heathen? What's his name? Seth or something like that? Well, hey, Zabak, I always get the name wrong. I'm gonna keep mentioning every class. What's the city? How you pronounce the city that she came from?
Who Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, Costco or something like that.
Cosesco, Mississippi.
Cosesco, Mississippi is where Oprah Winfrey is from, which is right outside of Jackson, Mississippi. Have you ever drove through there? You didn't even know that existed.
Like law. Yeah.
You didn't know that existed, did you? How you say it again? Cala what?
Cosesco.
Cosesco. Some weird ass name. Cosesco, Mississippi is where Oprah Winfrey is from, who has her own television network, who's worth billions of dollars. She worth so much money that if we wanted to stop the crime in Jackson, Mississippi, all we would have to do is get her on the phone, and she could make arrangements to stop the crime in Jackson, Mississippi.
Right.
That's the type of power she got.
And if she could
do enough series.
And if I may, she got enough money to fix the damn water crisis down in West Jackson, Mississippi. The only thing she got to do is do a damn show.
And it's over with. Bam, it's done. Because her city was her hometown was affected too. You know, water. When y'all wash your hands, make sure y'all use the hand sanitizer too, all right? Even though they're saying the water is okay, it's getting up to a certain degree, just make sure you still use the hand sanitizer down in Jackson, Mississippi. All right. You know, if anybody need to go get some hand sanitizer, go ahead. You're free to get up and do it. All right. But she could fix the water crisis in Jackson. She could fix the water crisis in Mississippi. Is she doing it? No. She's not like Esther. Some of you sisters need to ask yourself this. Ask yourself this and say this to yourself about your nation. And when it say I perish, it don't mean that for you all, it don't mean that you lose your life. But it means that you lose your life, like the Bible say. A man that is willing to give up his life for his brother, to give up being Christian, Negro, African American, or whatever the hell they've been called in the earth, and start to become a woman of God and be called by your tribe and be called by your Hebrew name, then give that up for your nation. What it say? If I perish, I perish. Perish yourself away. Allow yourself to shed yourself on this place called America, man, for your nation of people, for your damn children, for your grandchildren. Do it for them. Ain't no damn such thing as YOLO. Ain't no you only live once. Ain't no such thing as that, according to the Bible. You understand? You live this life until Christ come back and the Lord judge you and put you right back on earth again. Just hope you pray that you got your eyes this time. Hope and pray that you got your legs, your voice to speak, your vagina or your private parts. You know, TikTok, they not be playing for it. Your private parts. Hope you got that. You understand? So the sister said, if I perish, I perish. You all right? Let's go to we're almost there, y'all. Let's go to let's go to 5 and 9. Oh, it's like, you know what? I ain't gotta I can close it out with this because I want to bring out the rest of it tomorrow. Okay, so today was the opening of the Feast of Purim, all right? So just to give some backlog on some of the things that we spoke about for those brothers and sisters who just entered the live or the class or whatever it may be. In the beginning of the book of Esther, it talks about a man named Assur, a king of Persia Medes. This man and his wife, this man had a feast that lasted 180 days. He was a king over 127 provinces. His wife, Vesti, the queen, you understand, refused to show her appearance when she was requested, when she was commanded. She told the chambers that she didn't want to come. So the men that were underneath the king told the king that you should get rid of her and replace all her, every power and thing that she had, replace it with someone else. Go look at these virgins that we got. A woman named Esther, you understand, whose uncle was a Benjamite, a Benjamite, Mordecai. These two were taken into captivity under the Persian Medes, right? She was fair to look upon. The king eventually married this woman because of how beautiful and how gracious and obedient she was. He married her. During the time, we also missed this point too, during the time Malachi gave some information to Esther to save the king, which you'll find out when we read tomorrow, the significance of that, of him giving this information because he was never honored by the king. Okay. He get information. Esther, you understand, has the opportunity because a man was put in position of power named Haman who wanted to destroy the Jews. It was told to Malachi. Malachi told it to Esther. Once Esther found out, she said, you know what? I'm going to do something for my nation of people. I'm not just going to sit in here in my palace and get bathed in all these different beautiful oils and eat the great food. You understand? I'm gonna do something for my people. All right. So the following chapters tomorrow in the closing, you understand, we'll get more information about what Esther did, what Mordecai did, how he was honored, some of the prominent people in the book of Esther and the book of the editions of Esther. We'll also get the prayer that Esther prayed, that before she went into the king's palace with Haman and the king to give her supplication about the Jews and about what Mordecai charged her to do. We're going to get that prayer as well, all right? So for those of you who want to know, the Feast of Purim is a Memorial Day. The opening was today at sundown and tomorrow the closing, which is February, the 23rd at 7 p.m. We'll be going live, okay? Any questions or comments or statements, you're allowed to put them in the chat. Think about your following questions for tomorrow if you got any. you know, as well as the class. Okay, so I'm going to close it out with the security announcements. We are the ISUBK, start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department of the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Anybody want to donate canned goods, corn, beans, rice, clothes, baby shoes, diapers, bottles, whatever you have that you are going to dispose of it that's in good condition, drop it off at 4700 Robinson Road, Suite 400. Okay, there's the Mississippi School, ISUK Mississippi headquarters in Jackson, Mississippi. If you want to support the homeless, support people who don't have money or food or anything, go ahead and drop your donations off 4700 Robinson Avenue, okay? Also, if you would like to donate funds, anything, get in contact with the school, okay? Upcoming holy convocations, which is right now we're in the Feast of Purim. Following which should be what's the next high holy day, Zabak?
Maybe upcoming Passover.
God, that's like I'm tripping, man. The Passover, right? April the 20th, Raleigh, North Carolina, the 55th annual Passover. ISUBK will be hosting $200. Damn, $200 per person, 17 and up. Okay, go ahead and pay your tithes and pay your Passover fee. Also, for the Akim and Aqua in the classroom, the bulletin board should be to the right over here by the sign. Any announcements, high holy days, donation slip, whatever, be over there on the bulletin board. Okay. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatham, wa shalom, Yahweh Shamar Adam by Shem Yahweh Shah to the brothers and sisters on Preaching Officer 5000 Tazadakia with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Shalom.